وسهلا بكل الذين ينضموا للاستماع إلى راديو بلدي أول راديو عربي أمريكي ويعنى بقضايا العرب في المهجر. برامجنا في راديو بلدي كل يوم جمعة من 8 وحتى 9 صباحا مع ليلى الحسيني في بث حي ومباشر عبر wnzk راديو 690 AM. صباح الخير بلدي، صباح الخير لكل مستمعينا.
Welcome to Radio Baladi, the first Arab, Middle Eastern, and American simulcast radio show. Radio Baladi is broadcast every Friday morning on WNZK 690 AM from 8 until 9 Eastern Time on Good Morning Michigan with Layla Al-Husseini. Our call-in number 248-557-3300. And now, stay tuned for the best radio talk show on Arab and American issues with your host, Layla Al-Husseini.
Ziyad brand. Quality products from our family to yours. Ziyad Brothers Importing offers the finest quality products, including brands like Sultan, Kraft, Nestle, Hook, Rico Picon, Donna, and many more. Ask your retailer to carry these fine products because you deserve the very best. For more information, visit our website at www.ziyad.com. That's www.ziyad.com. Ziyad, quality products from our family to yours.
And good morning and welcome to the Arab Daily News Radio Show. I'm your host, Ray Hanania, and today is Friday, June 10, 2016. It is 8:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:01 in Chicago where I'm broadcasting, but we're talking to our listeners here at WNZK in Detroit and Washington, D.C. on AM 700, Detroit on AM 690 AM. The show is hosted by Layla Al-Husseini's U.S. Arab Radio Network, Radio Baladi, which broadcasts every morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can call us at 248-557-3300 and tell us what you think about the top issues in the American Arab and Muslim American community. Our producer, Mike, will put your call through. Just give him your name, 248-557-3300. For more information on this radio show and all my writings and audio podcasts, visit thearabdailynews.com, www.thearabdailynews.com. Remember, we want you to share your views, so call now, 248-557-3300. One of our topics today is, first of all, we're opening the phone lines to talk about presidential politics. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, appear to be the two contenders that we're going to choose from in November. I think there's a Libertarian Party candidate and a Green Party candidate, but again, they're probably, as much as I admire them, I'm not knocking them, they don't have a chance of winning. They'll probably get about maybe 1 or 2% of the vote. Trump and Hillary are the lead candidates. I had hoped that Bernie Sanders was going to win the Democratic nomination. I was going to support him, but I don't know. I don't like Hillary. I just don't think she's honest, but that's my opinion. It doesn't have to be yours. We can disagree. This is America. That's why we all came here, right? So we can have opinions different from the tyrannical dictatorships that governed us in the Middle East. That's why we're all here, or at least most of us are here for that reason. Our number again, 248-557-3300. We want to hear your views. We're also going to talk about remembering the life of Muhammad Ali, the championship boxer. Now, this guy really impacted the lives of many American Arabs. It doesn't matter whether you're Muslim or Christian. He stood up for the rights of Arabs and especially for the rights of Palestinians. If you go to Al Jazeera English, you'll see the column that I wrote about his life. Or if you go to thearabdailynews.com, you could see the links to a couple columns plus a lengthy audio podcast, about 11 minutes that I did about Muhammad Ali's life and how he impacted it. How he impacted your life, my life, everybody's life. I'd like you to call in if Ali meant something to you. If you have an experience or a remembrance about Muhammad Ali in your life growing up as an American Arab, as a Chaldean American, as a Muslim American. I want you to call in and tell me, what did you think of Muhammad Ali? Was he really that big of a guy? Did he have an impact on your life? Did Muhammad Ali actually, did you feel, if you were Chaldean, did you feel as if Muhammad Ali was speaking for you? Because he really, got pulled into the Middle East through his conversion to Islam right after he beat Sonny Liston at that, and I think it was in 1964. He was fighting as Cassius Clay back then. That was his given name. And then he met the leaders of the Nation of Islam and converted and said that Cassius Clay really wasn't his name. It was given to him by the white man, and that his real name was given to him by the Nation of Islam, and that was Muhammad Ali. And it was kind of a big deal because for a lot of people, for especially most Americans, that was the first time they probably ever heard the word Islam or Muslim, or even start thinking about Arabs. And remember, I know Chaldeans are technically not Arabs. They're people from the Middle East who share Arab culture, Arab food, the Arabic language, but they have their own culture. Chaldeans are their own people, their own culture, like Assyrians and Phoenicians from Lebanon, and Assyrians from Syria and Iraq also. Chaldeans and Armenians, I guess, although Armenians are technically not really native to the Middle East. They've lived there because of the oppression from the Soviet Union. But I understand Chaldeans are not Arab, but I consider you brother as an Arab myself. I'm Christian, and there are a lot of people who tell me, you're Christian, you can't be Arab. Arab is Muslim. So, those are issues that I understand, but it's what you believe, and it's also what other people believe about you. You may say, hey, I'm Chaldean, I'm not Arab, right? But you look at the typical average American, they're not the smartest people in the world, okay? I'm sorry. It's just true. They're just not. They like to tell everybody they are, but they're not. They look at you and me and Muhammad Ali and everybody, and we're all the same. We're all Muslim to them. And by the way, happy Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak to all our Muslim friends who began celebrating this important 30-day religious period of fasting, one of the 5 pillars of Islam that began on this past Monday morning with the first sighting of the crescent moon. Islam is a lunar-based religion, just like Judaism and the way Christianity used to be, which isn't anymore. So give us a call, 248-557-3300. Tell us, what you think. We're talking about Muhammad Ali. We're also, we can talk about the presidential race if you want. This is going to be a tough choice. I'm leaning toward Donald Trump. I really don't like Hillary Clinton. I really like Bernie Sanders. I wanted to see him win. But the Clintons stole the election. The insider establishment stole the election. Notice how just before the California primary, one of the biggest primaries where Bernie Sanders was leading, the Clintons announced that they had the delegates to win the nomination, so there was no reason to vote anymore. And I think that impacted the California elections. I'm not saying that Clintons are stupid. They're definitely not stupid. They're very smart. And they timed that announcement, so that they could steal the election from Bernie Sanders and discourage his supporters from voting for him, which they did do. And she doesn't have the delegates. What she has are the delegates that the voters gave her, and she has like 600 super delegates, which are the rigged delegate system that guarantees that an insider favored by the Democratic Party will win, because those delegates are not picked by you and me. You and I have no influence over them, yet they're counted toward the total that the nominee must have to become the Democratic Party candidate. So if you're short and you don't have them, they just throw 600 super delegates into your count, and all of a sudden you are the leader of the party. And you become the nominee. So, now those are some of just my thoughts, but I want to hear what you have to say this morning here at the Arab Daily News radio show on WNZK, AM 690 in Detroit and AM 700 radio in Washington, D.C., and also live on the Internet, as you know. You go to my website at thearabdailynews.com or at Facebook, and you can click the link and listen to the radio show there. I'm Ray Hanania, your host, and we're going to be taking your calls. So we want to have you give us a buzz. We got a number of commercials. I think, Mike, why don't we do or unless we have a caller now, I was going to say that maybe we'll just do our first round of commercials. But let's take Jerry first and welcome Jerry and see how Muhammad Ali influenced his life and see if he had any impact on him. Hey, Jerry, how are you?
Good, thank you, Mr. Ray Hanania. We really miss you, and it's good to hear your voice. I wait for you 30 days, just like I'm doing.
Yeah, no, I know. I only do the show once a month.
Ray, I'm just like, by the way, happy Ramadan to our brother and sister Muslim all over the world.
Yes.
You know, as a Christian, you and I, we share our brother, their happiness and their sadness. Sadness in the Middle East and happiness now celebrate the holy month of Ramadan. And we hope, Ray, that peace and love will come all over the world in the next Ramadan. All over the world, and especially our beautiful Middle East.
Yes.
Ray, about the, well, I'll come back to the election, the American election. We come to, of course, Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay before. Yes, I believe the history sometimes bring a great champion every once in a while.
Right.
And you know, Ray, one day I was talking to my kids, and when they were young, I said, you know, Sean, Nadine, Paul, Patrick, one day the new generation, your kids, grandkids, they will be amazing how we, in our life, we saw great champions like Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali as a boxer, Sonny Liston, you know, Joe from, you know, and like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like Shaquille O'Neal, like, you know, all those great champions, you know. So, you know, we wish that Muhammad Ali as a boxer, he complete his mission, and may the God bless his soul, regardless Muslim, Christian, I don't care. He was a human being, and he has a mission, and he completed that mission in a good way. Yes, and he was pretty.
Yep.
You know how we say, I'm pretty. I'm strong, but I'm pretty.
Yeah, I remember him. Listen, he was one tough guy. He was not afraid to say what he believed. He stood up at a time to defend the Palestinians and the Arabs when Americans hated all of us. And believe me, Americans couldn't tell the difference between a Muslim, a Christian, or a Chaldean. We were all the same. So he stood up and defended us. But the media, they always downplayed everything he said about Palestinians and about what Israel was doing and about the discrimination and racism against Muslims. But they played it down. But he wouldn't. He continually spoke up, you know, about it and did stuff. So that was good.
Yeah, he was a spokesperson. He expressed, you know, his idea, and when he was talking, actually, he was defending the minority and the other people like us, you know. So may the Lord bless his soul.
All right.
Ray, I come to politics now. We talk sport.
Okay.
Ray, about the candidates right now, of course, we got two horses. Mr. Donald Trump, the American billionaire from Republican Party, and the former Secretary of the State and former Senator and former First Lady. who she was there 8 years in the White House, and I don't want why she want to go back to the White House. Is she Miss Monica Lewinsky?
I don't know. I don't get it, and I just don't like her. I just don't like her views and her political views on the Middle East.
Ray, I just don't trust her. Don't trust this woman. I used to have a lot of respect for her before when her husband was the president and she was the first lady. But after that, Ray, day by day, when I found out she's a liar,
right?
She's an untrusted person, she's a greedy. Matter of fact, she and her husband, former President Slick William Jefferson Clinton, you know, and the Clinton Global Foundation, Ray, don't you think that's a big corruption organization? Ray,
listen, all I know is that Clinton was a pretty good president when he was president of the United States. Let's be honest, he was pretty good, but
I agree.
I think that that was a long time ago. I mean, what are we talking about? 12 years ago? 8 and
more than
16
that,
years ago. 16 years.
2 decades ago, almost.
Yeah, almost 2 decades ago. That's a long. He's changed a lot. He's not the same guy. I really liked him, and I don't know if I liked Hillary though, because you know she's only doing this for herself, I guess. But what politician doesn't just put themselves first? I don't know how she's any different. So I just don't like her at the get-go. But I just don't like her policies either. I don't think she's honest. I think she's a liar. So it's not about women to me. I had hoped that she would be our first woman when she ran 8 years ago, but not anymore.
Yeah, you know, I said in so many radio talk shows, I said Hillary, she almost will become 70 years old. I don't have nothing against age. But don't you think because she have one daughter, Chelsea, and she have one granddaughter, and I believe will be 2 because she was pregnant, why she doesn't go and hold the baby bottles and changing diapers for her grandkids? Don't you think I will be better to enjoy her life?
We want to see women become empowered, but, you know, there are a lot of issues not to like her, though.
She wants power. And you know, Ray, one of the reasons I believe Hillary Clinton, she kept her marriage because she want to carry the last name Clinton. Nobody will know Hillary Rodham Clinton. But Hillary Clinton, she kept the name because she have an agenda in the future after the Senate.
She wants to run for office, right? She wants to run for office. Yeah, they all listen to every politician. She's no different than any politician.
And nothing wrong with somebody to be ambitious. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody.
I just want her to be honest, and I want her to stand up for good policies.
Exactly. And Ray, the other things about Hillary, you remember how she say, I fight for you?
Right.
Especially for women.
Yeah.
Ray, for women. What she mean by women? When this person accepting millions of dollars from government like Saudi Arabia, who doesn't allow their women to drive a car, they don't have the right for a lot of things. And she said she defends the right of the woman? How can she
the Saudis are not the nicest people in the world, the Saudi government. And there's no doubt in my mind that they have really changed over the last many years.
They allow women to vote, I believe.
Yeah, they're horrible, and they're getting worse. They're getting worse today. But, you know, it's such a complicated thing with the Saudis, because if it wasn't for the Saudis, Iran would have taken over the entire Middle East. And, you know, our Arab community is divided in 3 ways. You got the Chaldean Christians on one side, then you got the Arab Muslims who are divided in half. Some support Bashar al-Assad and his oppression and how he brought ISIS into Syria, and the others support the rebels who want to bring democracy to Syria and oppose Hezbollah and the oppression that Syria. You remember Bashar al-Assad's soldiers were brutal tyrants and war criminals who went into Lebanon to destroy the Christian presence in Lebanon. No Arab can ever forget that. So there's a terrible conflict there, and Iran is behind it, and they are the worst. But the Saudis, I think, you know, since they were fighting Iran, on the one hand, they're standing up to Iran, and without the Saudis, who would stand up to Iran? But on the other hand, the oppression in Saudi Arabia and their religious extremism is frightening.
The Al-Wahhabi, I will not say the Islam, the Al-Wahhabi,
The Wahhabis,
the people,
But even everybody, they could have been good people. I don't know. They started out that way, but they
don't represent
changed.
Prophet Muhammad. I don't think Al-Wahhabi. They should call Saudi Arabia the kingdom of Al-Wahhabi Saudi, not the Arabia Saudi.
Well, I know it is a different religion. There's no doubt about that. Hey, Jerry, listen, I got to take this break. We were going to go early, and now we're late. But
thank you very
so
much. Thank you, and God bless you, and God bless America, and let's have the right commander-in-chief in the White House.
All right. Thanks, Jerry. You have a good day,
Ray.
man. This is Ray Hanania here at WNZK AM 690 in Detroit and AM 700 in Washington, D.C., broadcasting live online also. Go to the ArabDailyNews.com to get that link, and we want you to call in at 248-557-3300, 248-557-3300. We're talking about the presidential politics, the Middle East, and the life and times of Muhammad Ali. I really would like to hear you call in and tell us about what Muhammad Ali meant to you. Did he have a meaning to you, and what was it? I'm Ray Hanania. We'll be right back right after these messages.
It's never too early to get your child on the right track. From their first words to first grade, Dreamy Children's Center in Troy works closely with parents to provide an experience that goes beyond early education. The highly qualified and experienced staff use a variety of programs that can help nurture important personality traits like responsibility, independence, problem solving, motivation, and respect. They also have educational programs ranging from preschooling for infants, toddlers, transitional toddlers, and pre-K to Montessori-approved programs and bilingual curriculums for young children. They're open from 6 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., can provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner with snacks in between, and can also arrange for after-school pickup. Dreamy Children's Center in Troy is located at 37373 DeQuinder, just above 16 Mile Road, and can be found on Facebook at Dreamy Children's Center. Ask about the free preschool program. Call today, 248-680-9170, 248-680-9170.
Jumana K-Ruse. You've seen her images on giant billboards across the metro. Jumana K-Ruse. You've seen her images on buses across the city. Now get to know Jumana K-Ruse.
It's sad, but it seems like we live in an age where most lawyers are focused on the bottom line, the money. And a lot of people have stopped wanting to truly advocate. I'll never forget this case. This woman chose me as a lawyer of last resort. She was hit by a semi-truck. I was able to recover about $480,000. Not every lawyer is an advocate, but every lawyer should be an advocate.
Let Jumana K-Ruse protect your rights. Call the law offices of Jumana K-Ruse at 1-866-YOUR-RIGHTS, extension 100, or visit yourrights.com.
Nidal's Pharmacy is a place to go for all of your prescription needs. All insurance plans are accepted at Nidal's Pharmacy. Prescription delivery is available. Nidal's Pharmacy is located at 23,800 Orchard Lake Road, Suite 102 in Farmington Hills. Call 248-477-2131. Nidal's Pharmacy, 248-477-2131.
And welcome back to the Arab Daily News Radio Show. I'm Ray Hanania here at WNZK AM 690 in Detroit and AM 700 radio in Washington, D.C., and, of course, broadcasting live on the Internet, where I know a lot of people listen. But you can still call in no matter where you're at 248-557-3300, 248-557-3300. We're talking about three topics, the Middle East in general, of course, because this is American Arab radio. And some people don't like it when I say American Arab. They want me to say Arab American. They attack me. I get attacked all the time, but I don't care. So they want me to say Arab American. No, I'm going to say American Arab because I am an American first. And if you don't like it, lump it. I just don't care about those people. They're racist haters. These people that they want to make a big deal about, are you Arab American or American Arab? And I think that's just ridiculous. That's their way of being angry, because we do have a lot of angry people in the Arab community. They're just angry about everything, and there's no peace, there's no compromise. They reject everything, the rejectionists. That's almost like a culture from the Arab world, the rejectionists, these fanatics who don't want any kind of compromise. They don't want anything. They just want, continued conflict, I guess. I don't know. It's very depressing. But our number is 248-557-3300. We're also talking about the life of Muhammad Ali, and we're also talking about the presidential election. It appears that it's down to Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. So give us a buzz, 248-557-3300. Let's go to the phone lines and say hi to Jamal. Hi, Jamal.
Good morning, Ray.
Hey, good morning.
Ray, you are touching an important subject for a lot of people who are from the Arab descent, who are silent. The reason we left our country, where we born, our culture, what we practice, because of what you say. First of all, let me make sure that everybody who is listening understand the dynamic of the religion Islam, which I am Muslim,
right.
But there is too many misleading and misinformations out there about the religion of Islam. First of all, the religion of Islam is following one book, Al-Quran. It never changed for almost 1400 years. And they're following the Sunnah, or what the Prophet Muhammad said and being recorded over the years. Those are the two basic things that when you are practicing Islam, if you don't find it in the Quran, you'll find it in what the Prophet Muhammad said and how things in life being interpreted and looked at and practiced. Now, there's 5 major school of Islamic thought: the Maliki, the Hanafi, the Jafari, the Shafi'i, and the Hanbali. Those are 5 major, school of thought. They all are students of Imam Jafar Sadiq. They're all students except Shafi'i and Hanbali lately, because they come during the 700, years after the Prophet Muhammad, introduced Islam. So here we are. All other school of thought, Ray, they are very minor. So the 5 school of thought represent about 1.6 billion people who said we are Muslims.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah,
and the other, go ahead.
The other 40 school of thought, including Wahhabis, they are counted in the millions, and it doesn't move beyond like 15, 20 million max.
Yeah, they're a small segment. You're right. They're a small sect of Islam.
Yes, small sect. So Wahhabis in Saudi, I don't want to call it Saudi Arabia, and the Arabic Peninsula, they started with Muhammad bin Wahab during the Mamluk of Egypt. That's what they, the best of my, and they're trying with the money to convert others and to include all the.
But all of them do that, don't they? Every sect, right?
No,
don't they all try to do it? And the Saudis are no different, right?
No,
don't they?
The family of the Saud used the money to spread what they believe the Wahhabi was a small sect, so they have control with it, which is normally how politicians do, and they succeeded to include.
Right.
All 4.
Everybody does that. Christians did that, didn't they? We had missionaries that went all over, especially to Africa and other areas too. Even the first pilgrims to this country were really religious zealots who wanted to spread their version of Christianity to the rest of the world, right?
Yes.
That's normal.
Yes. It's the same thing, but my friend, Muslims, are not divided in Sunni or Shia. Muslims, this is what the small sects like Wahhabi wanted the people out there, the billions, to believe that there's only Shia and Sunni. There is no Shia and Sunni. There is school of thought in politics of religion made Sunni and Shia into war of religion. There is no Sunni or Shia.
Well, given all that, because I get the history, believe me. I mean, you're not telling us anything new. We all know that, but I don't think a guy like Muhammad Ali understood that, did he, when he became a Muslim? He just became a Muslim. Isn't there a Muslim like Christianity where you're just a Muslim? Because in Muhammad Ali's eyes, the American boxer, he just saw himself as a Muslim. He didn't see himself as in the middle of a fight between Sunni and Shiite or Wahhabis and all these different sects, the Alawites and everything. He saw himself really as a Muslim. Did you? Did Muhammad Ali mean anything to you? Did he give you that sense of, we can beat him? When he was fighting the system back in the 60s and 70s?
Well, Muhammad Ali represents pure Muslims who believe that Islam is a religion of peace, Islam is a religion of justice.
So he's from a good movement and good side, right?
He believes that Islam supports social justice, supports freeing the people and treating the people the same.
Yeah.
That's why he converted to Islam, because he believed that Islam can help him understand, how to become, a better person and never peace. Now, that's his choice. I don't think that a Christian should convert to Islam to be peaceful and you born Muslim, you stay Muslim, you practice Islam. If you born Christian, you stay Christian if you want whatever. All religions, the essence of religion, Jesus was a Muslim if there was no Islam, and Muhammad was a Christian if there is no Islam. So they all, Jews, the same thing. Moses, they spread social justice. What Jesus did? Social justice. What Prophet Muhammad did? Social justice.
Thanks, Jamal. Jamal, listen, thank you for calling, too. I appreciate you raised some good points. I appreciate it. You have a good day, all right?
You too, thanks.
Thanks, Jamal. All right, this is the Arab Daily News radio show. It's about 8:32 in Detroit, and we want to hear your calls. We're going to take another quick break. Otherwise, we would have continued with Jamal a little bit there, but we got to get another break in here on radio. Our number is 248-557-3300, 248-557-3300. Tell us, what did Muhammad Ali mean to you? Did he have any meaning? Seriously, and I'll tell you, there's one issue that really bothered me, and we can talk about this. He was a Muslim. Just like Jews, Muslims are buried immediately the next day. You don't have a wake like they do in the Christian religion. A wake can go on for 5 days, and the person isn't waked till 2 or 3 days after he dies. It could be a 7-week-long process. Muhammad Ali, they wanted to give him a wake. I mean, he died a while ago, and I don't know. I don't know all the details of his funeral, but they're just having that funeral service today, and I think his body is still in the casket. I don't know. Did they follow the proper procedures for him? Did his wife, who follow the proper procedures for him as a Muslim? Did he die as a Muslim? And I know he was a Muslim, but was he? Is he being waked and buried the way Muslim tradition requires? So give us a buzz, 248-557-3300 here on the week, the beginning of Ramadan. I'm Ray Hanania. I'm going to be right back right after these messages.
عندي سؤال يا جدي شاغلني ومحيرني شو يلي بيخلي زياد عكل لساني قلبي
زياد شركة قصتها عيلة عريقة بترويها منتجات أصلية جودتها بتشهد إلها لو كبرت معنا كل بيوت تلاقيها العيلة وجيراني وأهلي ما بدوروا إلا عليها لأنه زياد يا جدي بتجيب المنتج بلدي بلدي وبتخليني أتذكر أصالة وعراقة بلدي. أجود المنتجات الغذائية من عائلتنا إلى عائلتكم. When you're looking for the best in optical care, Dr. Imad Nakash is your doctor to see. With years of experience and thousands of successful procedures performed, you can trust your eyes to Dr. Imad Nakash. See Dr. Imad Nakash and his professional staff for your eye care needs. There's 2 locations to serve you. In Hazel Park, call 248-336-3937. 248-336-3937. In Rochester Hills, call 248-299-3937. That's 248-299-3937.
Life for Relief and Development is a nonprofit charity that has been providing humanitarian aid and development to people and communities regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background for over 22 years. When disaster occurs here or around the world, Life rushes to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. Life also has development projects to provide medical relief, water purification, educational programs, relief for orphans, and much more. Your help and support can greatly improve these efforts. All donations are tax deductible. For more information, please visit our website at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493. That's lifeusa.org, 248-424-7493.
Are you going to start a restaurant or a grocery store soon? Do you need floor plans and designs? Call Naji Abood at 734-744-9796. Do you want to buy kitchen and restaurant equipment at discount prices? Call Naji Abood now, 734-744-9796. New Concept Products and Design, the trademark of kitchen equipment. 5% discount on all purchases of $75,000 or more. New Concept Products and Design, new location, 31185 Schoolcraft in Livonia. Learn more at www.newconceptproducts.com. Call Naji Abood, 734-744-9796.
I'll tell you what, I should call Naji Abood New Concept, because I always felt, you know what, I love being a journalist and a writer. I make my living just telling people what I think. You got to admit that's not I shouldn't complain, right? That's not like I got to wake up in the morning and carry a brick every day or, carry heavy, objects and do construction, which I think would be a very difficult and tough job. So I just write and tell people what I think. But I could, Naji Abood, I always wanted to be, that reminded me, I always wanted to own my own Middle East restaurant. And Hanania's. That's it. Yeah, we'll call it Hanania's. I always want, and we would serve stuffed grape leaves. Stuffed grape leaves would be our main meal, and kibbinaya, yeah, steak tartare, except the Arabic version. The Lebanese make it the best. I hate to admit that, being Palestinian, but the kibbinaya among the Lebanese is the best. But Palestinians have the best tabbouleh. Now I got to be honest, guys. The Lebanese, they put a lot of parsley. And when I do my stand-up comedy, that's one of my segments that I do all the time. You can tell where Arabs come from by looking at their teeth after they eat. If they're Lebanese, if their teeth are completely covered in parsley, they're probably Lebanese. If they have little specks of tomatoes after eating tabbouleh, they're probably Palestinian. And then every place in between will be the Jordanians and the Syrians and the rest of them. Our number here at the Arab Daily News radio show at WNZK AM 690 and in Detroit and AM 700 in Washington, D.C. Our number is 248-557-3300. 248-557-3300. We are taking calls on, what did Muhammad Ali mean to you? And did he have any impact on your life? He certainly impacted my life. I met him in the 1960s when I was working at a grocery store, Jewel, at 87th and Stony Island on Chicago's southeast side, where the Arabs and the Jews lived in the 1970s. The Arabs and Jews lived together in the 1960s. And at that time, we were all in the same community. This is before the 1967 war, which really was a turning point. But we lived together, and I worked at the Jewel, and I was the darkest kid there. And Muhammad Ali lived about 10 blocks away in the black neighborhood. You know, blacks couldn't live in the same neighborhoods with whites back in the before the 1980s, really. If you were black and you moved into a white area, chances are you would get killed by the white racists who, not all of them, but some of the whites in the community were just hateful racists who wanted to kill them. And they did kill them and lynched them and did terrible things to black people. But Ali lived in the black neighborhood, which was north of where I lived. But he would come to the Jewel at 87th and Stony Island and buy his groceries. And he was always accompanied by this short, stocky Palestinian. His last name was Hassan. I can't remember his first name. I don't even know if I ever knew his first name. I'm going to say Mike because it's Mohammed. I'm going to say they called him Mike, but I can't remember. I wish I could. And Ali would come to the grocery store and buy his food. And even if I wasn't his bagger, you know, you go to the grocery store, you go to a checkout counter, a clerk bags your groceries, puts them in the bag, and they offer to carry them out. He would look for me in the grocery store when he would shop and wave me over and have Hassan, his bodyguard, the Palestinian. Hassan's sister was Saluka Hassan, who was a friend of my mother's, and she lived in Chicago. They're from Petunia, the Hassan family. So Muhammad Ali's one of his bodyguards was a Palestinian Arab, a Muslim. His last name was Hassan. I think it's Mike, but I don't know. And Ali would signal to me to come and carry his groceries out to his car, which, back then he had this beautiful Lincoln Mark II. Now, the Lincoln Mark II was kind of like the biggest and best car you could have. Now, he might have had the Mark I, but I think he had the second version. He probably had the Mark I and then later got the Mark II. But this happened in 1968, so I think it was a Lincoln Mark II. And he'd wave me over, and I would carry his bags out from the counter. I'd leave my station, carry his bags out. It was always because I was the darkest kid, in the store, but also because I was Arab and Palestinian. Hassan, his bodyguard, knew that, and they'd wave me over. I'd carry the bags out. I'd bring them out there, put him in the trunk of his Lincoln Mark II, and he would give me $1. Now, in 1968, I'm telling you, $1 was like a $20 bill. That was like giving somebody a $20 tip, getting $1. And he would do that. I wasn't there every time he came in, and I think I worked there for about 8 months at the Jewel. And then Ali moved on, and I moved on, of course. The white flight hit that area, Chicago, and all the white people moved out. All the Jews moved north to Skokie and Niles, and all the Arabs from this one section moved southwest, into Oak Lawn and Burbank. If you're familiar with the Chicagoland area, that means something to you, but for the most part, it happened right at a very tough time. But that was the very first time I met Muhammad Ali, and it was really phenomenal. I wrote about it in a column for Al Jazeera English. You can go to Al Jazeera English and look that up, or you can go to my website, thearabdailynews.com, and find the link and story there, and click and read it on Al Jazeera. So I talk about that. But I also got a chance to meet Muhammad Ali a few years later in the 1970s. Now, he converted to Islam right after fighting Sonny Liston in 1964, and then he went on to become the world heavyweight champion, and then he was stripped of his title because he refused to serve during the Vietnam War. I ended up serving during the Vietnam War for 2 years. They didn't send me. They were going to send me, but they didn't send me. The war started to wind down after I got in. But I was trained to go fight there in the Air Force. And but he didn't want to serve because he believed it was wrong. And you probably saw the HBO, I think it was, or the Showtime TV show about that legal fight that Muhammad Ali put up with. It's just amazing to see him because he was not shy. And he was outspoken about Palestinians and supporting the Arabs. And it was very moving to hear him speak and defend us. But I met him when he came out to the south west side, where now the Arabs had moved. And I think it was 1976. There was one of the few mosques, Arab mosques, on the south side on Ashland Avenue, I think, owned by another guy named Hassan. May have been related to the Ali Hassan bodyguard, Mike Hassan. And I wrote about that because the Sheikh of Sharja, Sultan Mohammed bin al-Qasimi, came to Chicago. And I got photos of that. And like I said, you go to my website at thearabdailynews.com. You can read that story too. It's linked there on the story about Muhammad Ali. And Sheikh al-Qasimi, what a great guy. Just was very nice. And I was publishing a paper called The Middle Eastern Voice. And I got photos of that. There are very few Arabs that were actually documenting the Arab community in the United States. So we don't have a lot of good photos, of events. We have personal photos of our haflas and our parties, Arab, Christian, Muslim, Chaldean. We do a good job doing that, but we didn't do a good job of documenting our political activism in this country. So I got some good photos. I got to meet Muhammad Ali, came out to the airport at Midway Airport, Butler Terminal, to meet and greet al-Qasimi with members of the Nation of Islam. So I got to see Muhammad Ali then and took pictures with him at the time, and I got to spend the day with Sheikh al-Qasimi, who from the United Arab Emirates, Emirate of Sharjah. And he was just a phenomenal person. Now, if I'd been smart, I would have asked him to give me some money so I could start my own New York Times newspaper, but I wasn't smart enough to ask for financial help. I should have. I wish I had, because the al-Qasimis are a good family. They're good people, and I knew they understand the importance, because he came here to put money into Chicago to help expand the mosque that was at Ashland Avenue, owned by Mr. Hassan, who was a different Hassan than the bodyguard of Muhammad Ali, but I bet they were related. Listen, we're going to take one more break, I think. We're cutting into, this is our final break. Let's take that. And again, I encourage you to call in, because I don't mind talking about my remembrances of Muhammad Ali, because he influenced my life as a proud American Arab. People think I'm Muslim, and I'm proud to be mistaken for Muslim, but I'm a Christian, and I am Arab, even though many people say Christian Arabs are not really Arab. We're different. That we can't be. It's interesting. It's a good discussion for a later time. But give us a buzz at 248-557-3300 and tell us, what did Muhammad Ali mean to you? And or if you want to talk about politics, Clinton and Trump, we could talk about that, because it looks like November, that's going to be the lineup. Or we can even talk about Ramadan Mubarak to our Muslim friends and listeners who are listening to this show on WNZK. I'm Ray Hanania here at the ArabDailyNews.com radio show. I'm going to be right back right after these final messages.
نهنئ الجالية المسلمة بحلول شهر رمضان الكريم. كل عام وأنتم بخير. الله يوفق الجميع والله يتقبل الجميع إن شاء الله. والله يهدي بلادنا العربية أن تكون في أمان بحفظ الله تعالى. أسواق كاشات ميديتريان ماركت 14 مايل نورث ويسترن. نحن لدينا البضاعة العربية الممتازة والجيدة والنظيفة، ولدينا مطعم عربي فيه جميع أنواع الأكلات والسلطات وكل شيء يحتاجه البيت العربي أو البيت العراقي. ونشكر إذاعة صوت العرب في أمريكا.
Image Travel,
بجميع موظفيها تهنئ الجالية الكريمة بحلول شهر رمضان الكريم، أعاده الله عليكم بالخير والبركة. زورونا بأمت ترافل تجدون الخدمة الممتازة وأفضل الأسعار. كل عام وأنتم بخير، وشكرا لإذاعة صوت العرب من أمريكا.
أسواق زمزم الواقع على 24065 أورشاد ليك في مدينة فارمington هاوس ترحب بالجالية العربية والكلدانية. تنزيلات كبيرة على عموم المواد الغذائية في يوم الأربعاء من كل أسبوع. لا تنسوا فريش كاري اوت، جميع انواع المعجنات، وايضا صواني الكمبو المشكله والصمون الحار. لحوم حلال الجاليه العربيه والاسلاميه، الملحمه باداره قصاب الجاليه المعروف سلوان جربوع. زوروهم على 24065 اورشاد ليك في مدينه فارمington هاوس، او اتصلوا بهم على 248-476-0300. اسواق زمزم للمذاقي عنوان لجميع طلباتكم، اتصلوا على 248-476-0300. اسواق زمزم للمعامله الراقية وكرم الضيافة عنوان.
And welcome back to the Arab Daily News Radio Show. I'm Ray Hanania. Our number 248-557-3300. What did Muhammad Ali mean to you is one of the topics we're talking about. Let's go right back to the phone line and say hi to Nasser. Nasser, thank you for hanging on and calling into our radio show this morning.
You're welcome. I love your program. I'm better in crunching numbers than putting a couple words together. So
sure. Yeah, you probably make more money than me. I'm going to tell you what, being a journalist, all my relatives are doctors. I should have been a doctor like the rest of them. I ended up being a journalist. I probably cheated myself.
Not that good, but anyway, what I was going to say, I love Jerry Habba. I have highly respect for him. But today, I'm on the other side of him. Today, I'm totally 180 degrees away from
I'm sure he doesn't mind, but yeah, you know, I mean, we have some controversies we touch on.
Yeah, I always agree with him, only today. And I would, just like they say, I'll close my nose and vote for Hillary.
Yeah. Oh, really? Why? Tell me why.
Yeah,
I want to know. I mean, honestly, no criticism. Yeah. I'm leaning toward Trump myself, but why are you supporting Hillary?
I'm going to come from the end and going towards Hillary. The occupiers, they never occupied these countries to help the countries. This is basic history, approve that. And when they occupy countries, number one, they take their interest out of that country, which is the assets and what have you. And in order to succeed doing that, they have to keep the people over there uneducated. Whatever the education they had, they try to erase it, and they eliminate any education for that country so they cannot stand up again. But that being said, look what Bush did to Iraq. Now, voting for another Republican, I believe, was it Trump? Trump, yeah, he might say this, say that, but this is only talk. Bush, at
the election, maybe you're right.
At the election, Bush, they asked him, what do you think about the sanction on Iraq? That's before he get elected. And at that time, the countries, the organizations, the human rights, they were crying for the kids of Iraq. They dying of malnutrition from the sanctions. Yeah. He said, these sanctions have to end. Iraqi people, they have to eat and all this kind of good stuff. Look what happened as soon as he got elected. So,
look at Iraq today. I mean, really, when you think about it, on the one hand, a lot of people were happy to see Saddam Hussein taken out. But you know the truth, the sad truth about Arabs? I hate to admit this. And it's not about Muslim or Christian. We're all the same.
It doesn't work.
We need a tough father. My dad ran my family with an iron fist. And I knew when I crossed the line, he was angry, and that kept me in line from doing something stupid. And I hate, as much as we hated Saddam Hussein and other tyrants like him, He had a tough hand that kept everybody in line in Iraq. Now that he's gone, and I wish we had a better system than him, but we didn't.
I left the country tired of the boss party,
Yeah,
uneducated people running us and tell us what to do, whatever. And we are with the degrees and things, we don't have say so. So anyway, and look what happened. I thought they were bad. But anyway,
Yeah, and the same thing, you know, listen, Assad, you know, that's an argument in his favor, a tyrant and dictator. You take him out. Now, he's not taken out, but that whole country will go to pot, just the way Iraq. You think Iraq is anybody happy with Iraq today? They can't be, are they? Are people happy with what's happening in Iraq? It's frightening.
They've been brainwashed with their religions and what I was going to say about Trump. Trump, he is a Bush. He's not that much of a businessman. Here he's on a silver spoon.
Right.
Trump, he is a businessman.
Yes.
And I tell you, if you think Bush, he burned Iraq, Trump, he will go back.
You think so? It'd be worse.
Whatever Bush did not take, Trump will take. Maybe not direct to his pocket, but he will do these deals with the arm people, with the pharmaceuticals, and everything. Well, remember the gas prices?
Yeah.
Like we were going to go there and take Iraqi's oil. We did take Iraqi's oil. What happened to our gas station?
Yeah, it did nothing. Did nothing for us.
$5 a gallon.
Yeah, it's still, you know, the Saudis have more impact on the price of our oil than anybody.
Record profit at that time.
Yeah. All right, Nasser, listen, thanks. I appreciate you calling, and I'm sure Jerry doesn't take it personal.
Okay.
All right, listen, we're run out of time, everybody. I know Jerry was calling, wanted to come back in, and I'm sorry, Jerry, I can't get you in because we only got a couple minutes, and I'm sorry about that. I appreciate everybody listening. I wish I could do a 4-hour show. I used to do that in Chicago on a big radio station near 50,000 watts every Saturday and every Sunday, 5 hours actually on Saturday and 5 hours on Sunday. I could do that every weekend, but I don't know, it's rough, and I want to thank Layla for giving me the time. Once a month, I'm only here the second Friday of every month. That's second Friday. So I won't be back until the second Friday in July and the second Friday in August to do the next show. But I enjoy it, and I wish I had a few more hours. I wish we could do it. But, you know, the Arab community, we're poverty-stricken. We just don't understand the importance of media, and we're too cheap, you know, to support, you know, the media, all the newspapers and the radio, the few radio stations we have. We got a couple in a country with 10,000 radio shows. We have like 5 across the country. That's depressing. But I want to thank you for listening, and I urge you to go to my website. You can help me, and you can stay in touch with what I do, and you can listen to my podcast. You download it on iTunes automatically. The Arab Daily News podcast, Ray Hanania's commentaries. You can download them and listen to them, and you don't have to agree with me. You can email me and yell at me when I cross the line, because, you know, that's what happens. Sometimes I do cross the line with my opinions, but that's to provoke people to think. Now, if we all agreed, we'd never really talk about substance. So the idea is we need to provoke each other and get people thinking. And you can read more about Muhammad Ali and his impact on our lives as Arab. You can see those pictures of Sheikh al-Qasimi when he came to Chicago from Sharja in the United Arab Emirates. And you could also read my columns about the presidential election, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, and Bernie Sanders. So, you know, please stay in touch. Look for me on Facebook, too, and support. You got to stay involved if you want to make a difference. Anyway, I want to thank everybody, including our producer, Mike, who took all and lined up all the calls and set up all the commercials. And I want to thank all our sponsors for helping Layla El-Husseini keep her radio show on the air, because it is so important. But we need to support all the media in the American Arab community. Thank you, everybody. Remember, the website is thearabdailynews.com. I'm Ray Hanania. I will talk to you next month. Have a great Ramadan to all my Muslim friends. and a great week to everybody else. Take it easy. Bye-bye. Thank you.